everybody, Dizzy Crafter here with another video for my 12 days of Christmas. This is day 4, so I'm slightly getting there, still a fair way to go though. And I thought I would try and use these Made to Surprise by Sam Calcott, these shutter blind cards. I got this collection some time ago now. If you've been in the haul you'd have seen it, and it comes with like this Father Christmas set, a Christmas tree set, a snowman set and an elf and reindeer set. And it also came with the die sets, which is for a 6x6 card and a 5x7 card. I think we're going to go with the 6x6 card today. So let's get started. Well, I've die cutted everything out and we need 3 of these larger tags, 1 of the smaller tags, 1 each of this one and the backing to go with it, a piece of paper of your choice. I've just used the Sam Calcott Christmas papers that came with this kit, and then we've got 2 die cuts here. So we've got this piece and then we've got this piece. So the first thing we need to do is actually put this piece inside here, and you've got to basically just feed it through. It is a little bit fiddly because I had a little go before starting to film, so we're just sliding them in, just like so. And you want to make sure that they're all slid in. And what I did do on this piece is I just cut a little bit of a sliver off, because otherwise you end up with a gap on one of these. So I did do that because I did watch Sam Calcott's video herself. And then you want to take this next piece and we want to go in, first one with the big one and so on, and then the last one is the smaller of the tabs. And you want to make sure that they all line up straight here. Now Sam herself glued these in individually to begin with. I'm not going to do that. Then I'm going to stamp mine and then take it apart so I can colour it in. So once we've got everything inside there, we're going to be doing the stamping, and I'm using a stamping platform. This will really help with this actual stamping because of it being at different dimensions, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me anyway. And I think we're going to use the Father Christmas one, and we want to be, this is like say the first picture that you're going to see, so I'm going to put the Father Christmas with his little note and just place him where you want him being placed, and then we're going to ink him up. You want to be putting pressure where those pieces of tags meet each other as well, and this is where it comes to its own, because obviously we're missing some pieces, and I'm just going to go back over again and press down. And I'm going to make him much darker because he's quite pale. And we finally got him done, so then we want to move on to the next one. Now I haven't glued my actual paper down as yet. I'm just going to just place it over where it's roughly going to be. Then we're going to take the Santa Claus with the sack of goodies. And that's the Santa's all stamped up, ready to go. Once you're happy with your stamping, I'm going to take mine out and colour it in this way, and that way I can make sure it's all coloured in. And I'm going to do the same with this Santa Claus, and we're going to be using my polychromo pencils for this. I'm going to be using 226 and 225 to colour in Santa's clothing.
How still we
I've done all the colouring now, and now it's time to actually put the card together. I'm not actually sure if I showed you earlier on or if I have actually done this, but Sam Calcott actually says to use a candle or an eraser or anti-static bag and just run it across all the edges of where the movement is, which will then give a smoother edge. So that's what we want to do on all of those. And I'm just using a candle from the tea tree, is it? Not tea tree, the tea lights. I don't know why it's a tea tree. I'm going to do them on this one as well. Just want to give that a quick rub over in case there's any bits of extra candle wax that's left there. I'm doing it especially because my candle is actually red and I don't want any red wax showing. But we'll go with the larger piece first. So again, we need to put these inside. And this does get easier the more you do it actually. Because when I first was doing this one earlier on, I did find that difficult, but because I've been taking in and out and that, checking the colouring, I found it a lot easier now. So I guess it's just like memory muscle type of thing. So all I'm going to do is just glue underneath these side pieces here. I'll just lift it up because it's very hard to see on white. So I'm just going to place some glue just underneath here, but not, so making sure it's not going in too close to like this edge because it wouldn't move. So I want to keep the glue on the outer edge of this card. You put that to one side, and then you want to start with your bottom piece, which is Santa's feet, and then we're going to pop this back in here like so, making sure it's lovely and straight, keeping your fingers tight hold of it, and then just bobbing some glue on that tab, and then just hold it there for a second. Then we want the next piece, which is his bottom or his hips. Again, this is really important now to make sure they line up, and again I'm keeping tight hold of that and then placing the glue on the tab and holding that again. And then we've got his beard and arms. And once you've got those in place, you want to add this piece here. And I'm just going to glue that over and make it nice and smooth. And I'm just using the same glue. In here I have the Tonic Studio glue. Not the Nuvo one, but the one that comes in the orange bottle. And because this is symmetrical, I actually like to place it down where it's nice and smooth and not like where the other side is placed, you know, on the mat. When you're cutting it, it goes all a bit bleh. So I do like to do that. Got to make sure that's nice and straight. And once you're happy, we can just let that put to one side to dry. And then we can actually put our paper down as well. I mean, you could have put the paper down way before. I just didn't want to. Well, my memory card got filled and I didn't realise, and I've continued. So I'm just going to have to show you the next step just with this card, just so you know where we're at. So we've got everything glued in place. Just pretend this is the Santa Claus one. And you basically want to ignore this like T shape, and you want to be using this very first one with the bottom of the tree, and we want to line it up and put it in this very first gap here, and then you're just going to gently kind of guide them in each slot as they come. And once you've got it kind of in, you can manipulate it then, she says. It is a bit tricky at first, but when you've got a hang of it, it's not so bad. There we go. So we've got that in now, and that's how that looks, and we can test it out to see if it works, and it does. And we can keep going back and two. We're back on the Santa card now, so I'm really sorry about that, guys, but I just thought it was important for you to see how we've slotted everything in. So what we need to do is pull up the tab so that we no longer can see that very first Santa and the second Santa is revealed. Then we want to flip it over, and then we want to take this little sliver of card that there's a die for, and we're just going to bob a little bit of glue each end. And because we know this is going to be our stopper, we need to make sure it's on this back piece of card here. I will lift it up in a sec to show you that it is literally on the card and not on any of this kind of, it's not a waterfall, but that's the vibe it kind of gives me. And we're just going to hold that in place for a while just to make sure that glue takes, and this then becomes a stopper so the participant can't pull up the tab and pull the whole thing out. That makes sense. So hopefully the camera will focus so you can see it's actually on this piece of card here, and I've not hit it past this, because if I put this over this flip here, then it's not going to move. It's just going to be like glued there and stuck. So we've got that, and then we can test it all over again. It is a bit stiff. So there we go. I don't know if I've like kind of damaged my card or what, but there's definitely something going on with that because it is a bit stiff, like I say. And then we glued two of these together. I'm not sure if that videoed or not. So all we've done is cut out a further 4 of these and glued two together to make just 2. And we're literally going to just put this over the runners to try and keep the flow of that card moving so it doesn't kind of wobble side to side. But it's again also important to make sure you do not put the glue over the edges. So just get it as closely as you can. I just like to pull it up. I just think pulling it up might just give me that bit more, I can see more where these flaps are, so that's what I'm going to do. Like I say, you want it close, but not too close where the glue could splurge out. Now Sam actually used foam. She's die cutted foam for this, but I haven't actually got any foam. I've got foam on a roll, which just dries me potty anyway, so I just want to get rid of that excess glue there. And then repeat on the other side. Once you're happy with that, we can now start to attach it to the actual card. So just need to fold over these edges, these flaps, and take a bone folder to really burnish that fold in. And I'm using red liner tape because there's a lot of weight in this and obviously a lot of movement, so I want to make sure it's completely and utterly secured to the card. And wouldn't normally use red liner tape on cards, but for something like this I would, because there's a lot of movement, so it's going to get played around with. I'm guessing that anyway, because it's such a fun and interactive card. Now I'm just using a pre-made card that I've bought and I've had for ages. So, and this is just a 6x6 card. I'm just going to weigh up actually how much room it needs. So I don't know whether to just have it lower because of that pull tab or just have an equalness around. Yeah, so I'm just going to get that stuck on anyway. Do apologise if my head gets in the way. I'm just wanting it to be lined up nice and straight. I'm just going to burnish that down to make sure that's completely stuck as well. And let's give that a try and see if it works. Yay, it does. Really pleased with that, really am. What I did do before filming though is I made, stamped up and die cutted lots of stamps from this collection, from sentiments to presents, just lots and lots of goodness. So we're just going to decorate that, and I'll just fast forward so you can see what I'm doing, because I don't actually know which way to do it. But what I will say is, when you're gluing anything on, you've got to make sure it's not touching any of these flaps. I know that's obvious, but you just got to be aware of it. And also I would recommend possibly even just putting it on foam pads to begin with, because obviously you don't want it too flat because it would interfere, whereas that foam pad would give that bit of movement there underneath. So I hope that makes sense. Well, that's the card complete. I mean, I do like to make inserts, which I'll do off camera because you don't need to see that. I'll literally just put a piece of copy paper in there and a sentiment of some form. But I'm really pleased with it, and hoping this is going to work now with everything there. But oops, I thought I caught it then with some of the stuff I put on there. Like I say, this one's a bit stiff, but the more you do it, the easier it will get. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm not going to end the video here because I think I'm going to do the other ones I want, and then I'm actually going to show you what other ones I came up with. I mean, on this one I've stamped out this and then I've coloured it in, and I've actually added some glitter and snow, fake snow on this, so it gives that a bit extra embellishment. The rest of everything else has just been stamped. So yeah, so keep tuned and we'll have a look what else we've come up with. Well, I'm back guys, and these are my completed cards for my nieces and my grandchildren. So I just thought I'd show you. I feel like I could have done better on some, but there is a trial and error with these because obviously I'd not done them before. And I do feel like some hasn't gone as well as others. I mean, this snowman here, really, I don't know what I did wrong, but it just wouldn't go right. Now this is the only one I did this size, but it just keeps getting lost, so I'm just going to have to be really careful when doing it. So this will go to the eldest grandchild, which I was hoping to go to my grandson because it was a bit more boyish, but hey ho, just that's the way it goes sometimes. So that was the snowman one. And then we've got the tremendous one, which I know you saw slightly because my SD card got full and I didn't even realise. And this is the tree. So this one worked really well. And then the Santa one, which you've all seen anyway, but we'll just do it just because we are. And then the last one is the reindeer one, and I've not really gone over the top with the embellishments with this one. I feel like the more I did, the more embellishments I've ended up adding, if I'm honest. But this is probably my favourite one, is the reindeer one. It's just so cool. It says hands up if you've been good, and it says jingle all the way. And what I didn't realise is that once I've put these parcels on, it's disrupted that jingle all the way sign, so I probably won't do any stamping in the future at the bottom there like that, if I know I'm going to be putting embellishments at the bottom. But like I say, this is always a learning curve. I do hope you've enjoyed seeing me make this card. I'd love it if you would please comment and subscribe, and hopefully I shall catch you in the next video. Bye.